Lieutenant Little, tell Mr. Johnson that Mr. Hickey will be punished as a boy.
Hello, welcome to the Loose Butthole Reviews. I am your host, Smokey, and joining with me, as always, is my co host, Spooge.
Oh,
Alright, and here we have three rules. First rule is gotta be a 5 out of 5. 1 being we hate it, 5 being we love it. Rule 2 is Jeff Goldblum can only be given if the movie or TV show makes us want our money back. Rule 3 is we can only give a God tier if we both agree. And today we are reviewing the TV show The Terror / The Terror Infamy.
yes.
And I can already give my number rating. This is definitely a 2 for me. I disliked this series, and I can completely I can summarize why before we get into it if you want me to.
Go ahead.
Well, I already did it on chat, but it's basically the same thing. They had amazing premises with both seasons. They just did not know how to execute them properly.
Yes,
I
I
I loved
agree.
I loved both the premises, but the how they executed them was just very poorly. In season 1, I loved the acting, the atmosphere was better. I actually preferred the setting, to be honest. The more isolated setting was better to me. I just didn't care for the monster, the design of the monster, and the kills in season 1.
Yes.
And of course, in season 2, the acting just was not on par with season 1.
Yeah, there's definitely occasional. I'd say like ones a note would be Chester's father was really good. Yuko
Yeah,
herself, the actress herself, was really good.
the monster, and I don't even really want to call her a monster. She was really just a ghost.
Yeah, I mean ghosts could be monsters.
And
It's a pretty vague term.
they, and I'm just gonna. I know this really shouldn't bother me as much, but they completely forgot a plot point and they don't address it. They show the last time we see Jiro is he's sitting in the bed with the drum, and that's literally the last scene we see of him.
Yeah, and
And
since this
they
isn't
don't address
this
that
since
at
this
all.
isn't yeah, and since they kind of showed that this has nothing to do with like time travel, and it's more like almost like there's like spirit realms within pictures almost that like even them going back into the picture with her and being pregnant with them, like it didn't undo that. Like he
Yeah,
still got pulled into that wherever the fuck that dimension is.
it don't that doesn't make sense whatsoever. Like it, like are they saying that she just went back? Are they trying to say that they just sent her ghost back in time and she's gonna have to relive the same shit? Did they just put her in like an infinite time loop?
Yeah, I mean, or I think she's just trapped within the confines of the picture.
I, that See
I don't
that
know if it.
I hate to say that's so fucking stupid, man. It's like the like I said, it great premise. The premise, heck, a haunted internment camp, fucking during the World War II that America made was
Mhm.
was so good, but they just didn't execute it well at all. It to be honest, the internment camp thing was there just for the shock factor. We we didn't need the internment. We could have dealt with Chester being at the war, getting chased by his dead mother. We could have dealt with that. We didn't need the internment camps thing.
Yeah, they
They
should have
even
made it
remove
more
him from
relevant
the
to
intern.
that.
Like they even, yeah, they should have made it more relevant, and they even removed Chester from the camps like they remove him from the camps as much as possible throughout the whole
Mhm.
season.
Yeah, I mean that's not even my main issue with it, with that part of it. I feel like it. I honestly, I just think this they fucked up when they started doing the like the ayahuasca like ritual, and then they kept like focusing on that too. It wasn't even like a one time thing. It kept going back to that as like the secret weapon, and there's no real like established like, at least with the we'll say with like the first ritual that they tried to kill Yuko with. That was, I didn't need that to be explained to me. That was like believable. Oh, like putting the the kanji and stuff on her and stuff, like, okay, you don't need to explain that to me, even if I don't know exactly like the full like cultural like of what's happening exactly there. I can just accept that as a ritual to like stop the monster. But this one started introducing like dimensions and like not explaining them, just like it
Just like, and they called
just
them
got
after. They
stupid.
were calling them afterlives, but it just, yeah, this. And
It was
again,
like,
it had,
and I know it's not from Japanese culture, because then they started kind of mixing it with the, and it's like not based on anything. It just kind of became like its own.
yeah,
It
and
started having like that a stupid video game logic, like a logic that would only work if it was like some type of weird mechanic that they had to
that's
like work around. You
that's
know?
another thing I didn't like. It's like in season one, the whole season was a survival horror, and then in season two, halfway through, we unlocked the shotgun and it became action.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, what? Why did you like change the pacing of the whole series, like to the point that literally it became the answer to the problem was literally John Witherspoon's fucking speech. Put up your dukes. Now you're a man,
Yeah.
son. Like,
And that's why I'm saying that I actually don't agree. I feel like they made their mistake when they left the internment camp, because that was
yeah,
where all the good kills were happening, and like that's where the yeah, that's what you're saying, yeah. With
yeah, they should have
yeah, it should
made.
have been more relevant to that and to like the horrors of that, and you could still have the ghost. Like, they probably should have honestly had some like other shit going on alongside with Yuko, like maybe like a bunch of spirits like coming up from the unrest, and then you could have had like the I don't
Yeah,
know, like
she should have
the
been the first one. It should have been them dealing with a whole bunch of ghosts that Chester gets pictures of,
yeah,
because he gets a
yeah, it could have
picture
been
of
that.
Yuko and it's blurry. Anytime he takes a picture of a ghost, the face is blurred out. So they've established that. So they should have made it Fatal Frame instead of Resident Evil, but they made it Resident
Mhm.
Evil.
Yeah,
I
and I mean, like, I don't know. It is a real shame because but I haven't really gone into the. Let me actually go into the terror real quick, since that was the
the
first one,
season one, yeah, yeah. Let's get into season one.
because terror, what it has over the infamy, which is season two. If anyone's getting confused, season one is terror, and it's a complete whole different story. It is set in the they're trying to find the Arctic Passage, like through North America, to get to China.
Not
That
through
was always like,
through the North Pole,
yeah, through the North
through
Pole,
the
but
Arctic
it's like,
Circle.
yeah, yeah. But I know it's the path that they thought's like right above, like it's in the kind of the Canada part of it, isn't it? Like up
Yeah,
all the way top
sort of,
is what
kind of,
they're trying to
yeah.
get through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even though it's like the dumbest passageway. Even though there is a passageway, it's the dumbest fucking passageway. There's no like convenience to it whatsoever.
Which isn't anything against the show, since that's what they were actually trying to do.
Yeah, that was just that was the
That's
actual
human
events that was
stupidity.
good. Yeah, that was just. I'm not blaming that on the show. I was not.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not why the
I'm
show
I'm
got a
just putting it
two.
out there for people who don't know,
Getcha.
and because they remember that they might not they might be watching this because they want to watch the series. They might not have no context for like what the fuck this is. It's
Ah,
real confusing.
this is it. If don't just don't. To be
You know what?
honest, look up a
I'd say
summary. I would say look up a summary,
look up a
unless
summary, and this is something to blast through if you like. Hey, if you get COVID again, this is something that you got a shit total load of time because you had COVID or something. I'd say watch this.
I was about to say if like during October you need one day, this would be something good to pop on for a Halloween day. That isn't Halloween.
Yeah, yeah. Though I don't
Just
think
have
I
it
would
on
even
then.
dedicate
But
this to a Halloween. I'd say if you're fucking
I'm not
sick
saying
from home,
Halloween. I'm not saying
yeah.
Halloween. I'm just saying a day in October, a Halloween day.
I,
You know how you like popping on horror stuff and you got to do stuff. This is definitely something to have on in the background.
I don't know. I wouldn't even give it that. You need the little bit of context to even kind of know what's going on. Maybe for the terror, it has terror. What I'll have to give to terror is that it has fucking great atmosphere all throughout. I
Yeah,
love
it's
just like I loved just where they were, and like I was never really bored by it. What should be like a boring um setting just because of like nothing there, but they just made it just the shading of like when it was outside and stuff, just how like menacing it is
oh
is
yes,
so
they
great.
they definitely
Definitely
made it feel isolated.
they should have never showed, or what they should have did is they shouldn't have showed the monster that quick, and maybe even just show the monster in the last episode and just put all your budget into making that look good for
To
the
be
one scene that you'd have it.
to be honest, I know it wouldn't have made sense. They would have to explain it away, but I would have been better if there wasn't actually a monster, and the dude that went ape shit at the end, had the dudes literally like carrying him on a boat in the middle of fucking nowhere at the end of it all. If he
Yeah.
was the actual culprit of the whole situation, because
Oh yeah.
yeah, that would have been much better.
That'd be cool. But but yeah, like in the not great kills. It was kind of like sci-fi level
It
of
To
like
be
gore.
honest, the monster reminded me of a sci-fi original monster.
Yeah, it just didn't work. I mean, they tried to hide, even when they were trying to hide it. It was just kind of like you shouldn't
It
have
was
showed it.
very. It looked like a
Shouldn't have
polar
fucking
bear.
showed it.
Yeah.
As opposed to season two Infamy, Yuko, who I'd say they did a really great job because they used practical effects and makeup, and they made her fucking awesome. I
Yeah,
loved
but they
I
they
loved
didn't give
Yuko.
her. She did not have enough screen
She
time
kept body
whatsoever.
switching. She
Yeah.
kept fucking body switching, especially at the end. It was like she was never just in her body, so they could never have that. Even they had her like laying right there with the makeup, and she was like, "Oh, you could make her look scary and have her like crawl up to fucking Chester or something." But no, it takes over fucking his dad's fucking body,
Yeah.
and it
Gotta
just
have gotta have his because it's gotta be it. That's a more serious his dad shoot going after him instead of the zombie.
it just
It's another point against that. This is another reason why this gets a 2 for me because that's just so late. Like and again, I'm I know I shouldn't, but this is always from now on. This is if unless it's really warranted for the story, if a TV show or a fucking movie puts a kid or a baby in danger, I'm taking off a point because for the simple fact you're just doing that to be like, oh shit, oh is it gonna, even though for a fucking fact the baby or the kid is going to make it through. You're putting the baby in danger
gotta
for
kill the baby.
no. You, I said it. The only thing that would have saved this from to get a higher rate is the baby dying. But
Mhm.
did the baby die? Nope. Of course not. Because you can't put a fucking kid in danger and then have it die. You're just not gonna
Mhm.
do that. It's just it it's it's lazy tension, and I'm so
Mhm.
sick of it.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
That's another reason why I preferred season 1 over season 2 actually, because it was just a bunch of dudes surrounded fucking by ice.
Yeah, and honestly, it was like anyone could go at any moment with that one.
To to be honest, if it was just the first season, now that if it was just season 1, I would have probably given season 1 a 4. And this would have
Yeah.
definitely gotten a this would definitely remained a 2, but since I got to rate this as a whole, the whole series gets a 2 because the second season does show season 1 could have been was better and could have been even better, and that's also negatives towards it as well.
Yeah. I think I think I am more comfortable saying this is a 2.5 for me as a whole.
All right, so 2 for me, 2 out of 5 for me, and a 2.5
Yeah, like
out of
it's
5 for you.
middle. I didn't regret watching it. I think I liked it enough and got pulled in enough for it to make me angry when it fucked up.
Now,
So I think yeah, half, right in half.
I'm not saying I didn't did not I didn't not enjoy watching this, but I didn't like it, and I didn't like it enough to care that I did watch it. If
Hmm.
if anybody suggests this, I'm definitely gonna pass on watching it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I probably might, just because I feel like I'd have to kind of like see it again to have a full opinion. I could probably watch Terror again better, like the
I'll
the
probably
first part.
if I watch this again, I'd probably enjoy the first season more now since I've watched the second season.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
comparing the two seasons side by side, the first season is so much better.
Hmm. And I kind of almost like, with the amount of care that got put into the second season too, I almost feel like maybe they should have just did an internment camp drama and not have it be attached to this, especially when you're taking people who have family members, and or fucking George Takai, who had to
Literally
go as
was
a
in
child in
there.
an internment camp. Yeah, I feel like maybe they should have just made this a drama about how fucked it up it was in an internment camp and not make it a horror.
Yeah, I'm really like I said, they had an amazing premise, but the execution of it was fucking awful. I did not like it. Did not like it.
Yeah.
It gets a 2.
Yeah, I agree. 2.5. It was
Uh
dropped the ball.
oh, it dropped the ball hard, man. I was so
Hmm.
to be honest, if it dropped it any harder, it would have been a Jeff Goldblum because I would have been disappointed.
Yeah.
I would have wanted my money back, but it just Yoka was just enough
Hmm.
to save it from a Jeff Goldblum because her performance is phenomenal.
That's what I agree, because I was almost like thinking kind of like, oh, maybe I would go like a 2, but then there I remembered like Yuko in the fucking first half of this show, and like how, like, just so many great scenes of like good kills. And I was like, oh shit, I can't, I have to, I remember that and how much I enjoyed that, and I do have to take that in consideration. So yeah, and I
Yeah,
remember in the atmosphere. And I will say that, yeah, the acting this was a lot worse, but because and one of my main things with the terror wasn't even with the acting, the and it was mainly for the main captain that we kind of follow. Um, like he was good at acting, but he just could not keep the accent going, the Irish accent going at all.
gotcha. I
And it was
understand.
really distracting, because then there'd be moments when he was like, "Oh, he really did it," but it's like, I wish, I almost wish it would have been better if he didn't try, if he didn't try at all, like Chernobyl. He could have just been had his British accent, and then I would have, the show, if it's strong enough. I mean, like with Chernobyl, it was strong enough that I totally forgot that they were British.
Yeah, yeah.
Just accepted it.
I completely understand where you're coming from. I
Mm-hmm.
do. Like I said, I just didn't like it, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why it gets a 2 for me.
Mhm.
we've gone on long enough. The soundtrack really didn't have one too tough.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad or good. I think it was there. It did its job.
Yeah, they do have a soundtrack, but that's all I can say about it.
It was there, and it was fine for what it
It didn't
was.
it didn't subtract from any of the scenes, but it never added to any of the scenes either.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we've gone on long enough. Damn it, I was muted there. I don't know how long I was muted.
Oh. How? Hey, in the comments, how long was Smokey muted?
Well, shit.
Is my sign off?
I gotta do the fuck it just in case.
Mm.
Okay, so if you've been listening to Spooge this long, please like or comment dislike on the video and share it around. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Give your sign off, Spooge.
If there is a, I don't know, fuck it, it's not good. Bye.
Bye.